What's up, Commanders fans? Welcome back to Commanders HQ, your #1 spot for everything Washington Commanders. This team is on a mission, folks. After a magical run to the NFC Championship game in 2024, the front office isn't taking their foot off the gas. From blockbuster trades to smart free agent signings, Washington is doing everything possible to improve and bring a Lombardi Trophy back to DC. And hey, if you love this kind of detailed breakdown from a fan-first perspective, smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It helps the channel grow and keeps the Commanders community strong. Let's start by acknowledging the work that's already been done. Washington hit the ground running this offseason. They landed Laramie Tunsil, a top 3 left tackle in the league, to protect our young QB. Then they brought in Deebo Samuel, giving Jaden Daniels a dynamic, run-after-catch weapon who fits perfectly in Cliff Kingsbury's offense. But while the offensive side got the fireworks, there's still one area of concern on defense: the outside cornerback spot. Sure, the team signed Marshawn Lattimore last season, and with a full offseason under his belt, we could see him return to Pro Bowl form. Inside, rookie standout Mike Sainristil has the slot position locked down, but we're one injury, or one inconsistent performance, away from having serious questions on the boundary. And that's where this next move could come in. According to NFL Network insider Ian Rapoport, the Miami Dolphins and Jaylen Ramsay have mutually agreed to explore trade options. Yep, you heard that right. One of the best cornerbacks of the last decade, a 6-time Pro Bowler, 3-time All-Pro, and Super Bowl champion, could be on the move. Dolphins GM Chris Greer confirmed this, saying that after numerous conversations, both sides believe it's in the best interest to move forward. That's big, and this could be Washington's golden opportunity. Think about it. Dan Quinn's defense thrives on versatility, physicality, and leadership. Ramsay checks every single one of those boxes. He's not just a lockdown corner, he's a tone setter. He's the kind of player that raises the standard in the locker room and on the field. Put Ramsay on one side, Lattimore on the other, and you've got one of the most experienced and physical outside cornerback duos in the league. That kind of setup frees up Sainristil inside and allows Cameron Curl, Percy Butler, and others to roam and make plays in space. You instantly elevate the floor and the ceiling of this entire secondary. Now let's talk logistics. Ramsay's cap hit is around $25 million. And at age 30, you're not just taking on his current deal. You're likely extending him with restructured terms. Miami won't ask for a first-rounder, but it might take an early day 3 pick, maybe a 4th-rounder, to get it done. So here's the dilemma. Do the Commanders want to invest future cap space and draft assets into an aging, albeit elite, corner? Or would they prefer to go young, especially with cornerback talent expected to be available in the 2nd and 3rd rounds of this year's draft? It's a legitimate debate. But there's also a timing element here. If Washington doesn't land their guy in the draft, Ramsay becomes the perfect plan B. Except he might already be gone by then. So, if the front office really believes they're in win-now mode, and judging by the Deebo and Tunsil trades, they are, then going after Ramsay makes a lot of sense. While we're talking defense, let's shift to the NFL draft. The Commanders hold the 29th overall pick, and according to the 33rd team's Kyle Krabs, Washington is expected to stay put and select Maliki Starks, the elite safety out of Georgia. Now, this guy is the real deal. A former 5-star recruit, 3-year starter, and a national champion. Starks was a finalist for the Bronco Nagurski and Jim Thorpe Awards, and he brings elite range, intelligence, and physicality to the back end. He's also incredibly durable. Started every game during his time in Athens. And let's not forget, he's coming out of the SEC, where he played against top-tier talent every week. Quinn is reportedly in love with his cerebral approach and versatility. Starks can play deep, match up in the slot, or even rotate down into the box. While Washington already added Will Harris in free agency, having someone like Starks to mold and rotate through multiple alignments could be a game changer. So now, imagine this defense with Starks at safety, Ramsay and Lattimore at outside corner, and Sainristil manning the slot. That's a defensive backfield loaded with intelligence, toughness, and athleticism. Up front, you've got Jonathan Allen and Darren Payne anchoring the defensive line. There's buzz about the Commanders potentially adding another edge rusher. In the draft, or via trade, someone like AJ Epinesa has been floated as a name to watch. And let's not forget about Dan Quinn. This is a coach who helped build the Legion of Boom and turned the Cowboys into a defensive juggernaut. With the right pieces in place, he can orchestrate one of the top defensive units in football. Let's set the stage real quick. The Commanders shocked the football world in 2024. With rookie quarterback Jayden Daniels leading the charge, Washington stormed its way to the NFC Championship game. And they didn't do it by luck. They did it with grit, smart coaching, and, or the locker room that believes in each other. But we all know the NFL doesn't wait around. You either evolve, or you get left behind. So far, the Commanders are doing everything right. They went out and made 2 blockbuster trades, landing Debo, Samuel, an offensive Swiss Army knife, and Laramie Tunsil, one of the best blindside protectors in the league. That's how you take care of your franchise QB. But now comes the final, and arguably most important, piece of the puzzle: the 2025 NFL Draft. Across the league, analysts and insiders are all saying the same thing. Washington needs to be aggressive in this draft. And that's not just hype. It's about maximizing a rare opportunity. Think about it. The Commanders are entering the draft with a young, ascending quarterback, a newly rebuilt offensive core, and a defense guided by Dan Quinn, one of the brightest minds in football. This is the moment to fill in the gaps, plug the holes, and turn potential into production. ESPN's John Keim recently reported that the Commanders are looking at multiple areas to upgrade, particularly at running back and wide receiver. Here's what he said. Washington would like to find a dynamic running back capable of playing on every down. In the Commanders' past 11 games, including 3 postseason matchups, their running backs averaged 3.0 yards per carry or less in 6 of them. Let that sink in. That's not a small issue. That's a glaring weakness that was exposed when it mattered most. Keim also mentioned that a speedy receiver opposite Terry McLaurin is still on the table. So while Washington's offense has taken steps forward, it's clear they're not done yet. So let's look at the running back position first. Brian Robinson Jr. has shown he can be a physical downhill runner, and Chris Rodriguez Jr. has flashed some potential. But the Commanders want that guy who can do it all: run, catch, block, and break one to the house at any moment. That's why names like Tre'Veyon Henderson out of Ohio State or Blake Corum from Michigan keep coming up. These are backs who have every down potential and can take pressure off Jayden Daniels. Imagine this: a dual-threat quarterback in Daniels, Debo moving in motion, and a true home run threat at running back. That's the kind of nightmare fuel for defensive coordinators that this offense is trying to create. Let's switch gears to wide receiver. Terry McLaurin is a stud. Jahan Dotson is shifty and dependable. And Debo, he's going to be used all over the field. But what this offense still lacks is a true burner. Someone who can stretch the field vertically and make safeties think twice about creeping up. Someone like Xavier Worthy out of Texas could be a perfect fit. The guy ran a 4.21 40-yard dash at the combine. He's pure speed, and he'd open up the middle of the field for guys like Debo and Logan Thomas, or whoever ends up playing TE1 this season. Washington's offense under Cliff Kingsbury is built on spacing, timing, and mismatches. Adding a vertical threat creates those mismatches instantly. So here's the million-dollar question. Do the Commanders stay at pick 29, or do they get aggressive and move up? Kyle Krabs from the 33rd team believes Washington will stand pat and go defense, possibly selecting Maliki Starks, the versatile safety from Georgia. We talked about him in a previous video. Elite football IQ, championship pedigree, and a perfect fit in Dan Quinn's system. But if Washington really wants to make a splash on offense, they might need to move up 8 to 10 spots to get one of the top-tier backs or receivers. That could mean parting with a future pick or mid-round capital, but again, this team is built to win now. Being aggressive doesn't just mean flashy moves, it means intentional moves, filling your biggest needs with impact players who can contribute right away. Let's not overlook this. Dan Quinn isn't here to rebuild, he's here to finish the job. And with GM Adam Peters making the personnel calls, you better believe the draft board is already organized, targeted, and prioritized. Quinn's influence can't be overstated. He's going to want tough, smart, fast players who fit the mold of his defensive system, and he knows what it takes to win big games. Whether it's an offensive weapon or a defensive leader, the Commanders are going to make picks that support their identity. Physical, explosive, and ready to dominate. So, here's the question for you Commanders fans. Should Washington go all in on Jaylen Ramsay? Is he the final veteran piece this defense needs to go from good to elite? Or would you rather see the team develop a younger, cost-controlled corner in the draft and keep that cap space flexible? And what do you think about drafting Maliki Starks in the first round? Would you be excited to see him pair up with Curl and Harris in the secondary? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I want to hear from you. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button to support the channel and subscribe for more exclusive Commanders content. We've got film breakdowns, draft reactions, trade rumors, everything a fan could want. This offseason is heating up, and Washington isn't done yet. Stay tuned, stay loyal, and as always, HTTC.